Well, blessed morning, friends and folks. What I want to share with you today, today's lesson that I have is called A Disciple of Thanks. And today we have a man named Bengt Sundberg. He says, a life of thankfulness releases the glory of God. Today's scripture is Psalm 104, which is simply, enter his gates with thanksgiving. Here's a lesson in word. The distance of God is an all too common malady among believers. And isn't that God is really distant, but we go through ways of feeling that he is. Sometimes the ways are prolonged. Circumstances batter us. Discouragement plagues us, and God seems far, far away. God's prescription for entering his presence is to give thanks. This verse doesn't just tell us the right attitude with which we are to enter his gates, it also tells us the means by which we enter them. Thanksgiving coupled with praise will bring us to where he is. It will bring him to where we are. Either way, we find that worshipful gratitude is the right place to be. God lives where he is acknowledged. I like that. That's simple. If God does not seem to be living near you, perhaps there is something lacking in your acknowledgement. You rarely see gratitude in someone who thinks negatively about life. Why? Pessimistic thoughts remove the glory of his presence. Negative thinking is not faith. It is the antithesis of reality from God's point of view. Reality, as he defines it, is all about who he is and what he does. Negativity isn't. It assumes the worst, it feeds and is fed by the enemy of God. Notice how it just started picking up. Indeed, this is the conclusion. Paul told believers to give thanks in every circumstance. He didn't tell them to give thanks only when the clear evidence of God's blessing is visible. He told them to give thanks anyways in every situation. How can we do this on the basis of who God is? If we always see the downside, we are doubting something about God, and he is good, or able, or wise. But if we know that he is good, and that he is sovereign, and that he is wise, we can give thanks that he is working out his plan, even in the difficult circumstances of life. Establish in your mind a disciple of thanks. Enumerate every aspect of your life and thank God for it in every circumstance. Choose to see it from an angle that will cultivate gratitude. God will be honored, and his presence will be real. The greatest thing that I have had to overcome is my wife here, Annie, going home to the kingdom of heaven December 23rd last year. We buried her December 30th, and I poured my heart out, and the greatest words that I've ever felt, they came out of my mouth. If anyone that was there, if you got that recorded, be awesome if you shared it, because it perfectly defined how one man can stand in his marriage no matter what and still give thanks to God and have joy. Because you see, I know I can't go home to, or she can't come to me, because this ain't home. She went home to the kingdom of heaven. But you see, because I have belief in Lord, knowing he's the way, the truth, of the life, knowing he's the bridegroom and I'm the wife, I can go to her. I can go home to Moheha, Windana, Magpie Feather Woman, who went home to Mahale. She was Cheyenne, she was the sister. And that's how they say Mahale was God. That's how they say God, Mahale. To be absent from the body is about home with Mahale. Someday I'll join her. But until then, I have to keep sharpening up these girls, sharpening up others around me. And when people are down, to lift them up. Troy Harlan, my brother, I want you to know, the truth is, ain't none of that negativity belongs to you. It belongs back to the pit of hell where it belongs. You stand under the Son of Man, under Jesus Christ, my friend, knowing he's the way, the truth, and the life, knowing that he's the only way unto God the Father, knowing he died your criminal's death upon a cross of Calvary as he died a criminal's death for me, so that we are set free from suicide, for me drunkenness, for me drugs, for me foolishness. And I used to be a negative guy. She bought me out of it. She got tired of it. And ain't nothing like getting griped at by your girlfriend, your wife, to lift you up. But if they do it with constructive criticism and with love, then it's because they're tired of having the attitude of coming against you in a way to where you sparked them up, and then they come at you in love. And this is the kind of relationship that her and I had. It was not a roller coaster. It wasn't rocky. It was one that withstood the test of time. And I know where she went. because she gave joy. She gave her heart back to the Lord. And it gave her peace that surpasses all understanding. To be absent from the body is about home with the Lord. If someone went home today that you loved very much, whether it's your spouse, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, and Sora Mandela, also saw, I think that was your grandma, huh? No, they can't come to you, but you can go to them because hearts are made right. The Lord is here to cleanse the land for all his people, and the land he's talking about is right here in the tablet of your heart. This is his temple, and if you just call upon his presence, he's there. But if you don't acknowledge him, then it's a life void and headed straight to hell. And that's all I got to say about that this morning. Good lesson.